मया दक्षेण प्रकृति सूयते सचराचरं हेतुनानेन कौन्तेय जगत् विपरिवर्तते। मया दक्षेण प्रकृति सूयते सचराचरं हेतुनानेन कौन्तेय जगत् विपरिवर्तते। Translation by Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. This material nature, which is one of my energy, is working under my direction. O son of Kunti, producing all moving and non-moving beings. Under its rule, this manifestation is created and annihilated again and again. So, very nice verse, and Prabhupada has quoted in a lot of places this verse. So it's very important, and we should all memorize this verse basically so that it will be useful for us. So Maya Dakshena means under my supervision. Prakriti, so that is the material nature, is working under my supervision. Suyate sa characharam. Suyate means it manifests. Sa characharam, the living and non-living beings. Hetu nanena kaunteya. For that reason, under that hetu kaunteya. Jagat viparivartate. Viparivartate, parivartate means change. Viparivartate means cycle of change. It is working, it is going on. So here Maya Dakshena means my, you know. And Adhyakshena, it's a very nice word. It says Adhyaksha. There are two words. Adhya means before, Aksha means to see. Those who are Adhyaksha, they see before the followers see. That's why he is saying Adhyaksha. So he has more knowledge than the followers. So he sees everything before, and that's why his guidance is very correct. We always say God helps us. God is everything is behind the God. There's a nice acronym for God. It just says God means G stands for generator, O for operator, D for destroyer. Generator means he is the source of everything. Krishna is the source of everything. An operator, he maintains, and destroyer, who annihilates. So the entire creation which we are seeing is created, maintained, and destroyed by him alone. So when we look at the universe, we may think such a gigantic task, how God has to struggle maybe to maintain such a big universe. But in the previous verse, it is very, very clearly stated that material activities are being carried on by his different potencies. The Lord is always neutral in his material activities of the created world. He has control over every minute detail of the material activity, and he is sitting as if he is neutral. So he says, although I am doing these things, it does not bind me. I am ever detached. So it says, God, he does not do anything which is he requires intensely is involved in it. He has to sit back and automatically get things done. This is just an example we can give, like a rich man who has holding a lot of factories or industries. He's sitting in his AC office as if if you think that he is not doing anything, but his business is running all over the world because he has his managers, officers working and maintaining the entire show. That's what Shvetaupanishad says. Parasya Shakti Vivideva Shruyate Swabhavika Jnana Bala Kriyaya Cha. The translation is he has multifarious energies and therefore is able to remain in his abode and without endeavor supervise and manipulate the entire cosmic manifestation. Though the interactions of through the interactions of the three modes of material nature. So Lord Krishna has all the inconceivable energies. He can do anything and everything. Simply by his desire, his energy and representatives, they fulfill the desire as if automatically done. So one who is not able to know about it, he may think the world is going automatically. But everything, there is a supreme person behind it. There is a supreme intelligent who is controlling everything. It is not happening by itself. So the material energy is just like an instrument by which everything is going on this creation. And behind this material nature, there is a Lord Krishna, the supreme controller, who is controlling everything. So we see the nature. There are a lot of trees which produces a lot of flowers, which are very perfect with leaves and petals and buds. But if we want to paint such a flower, make a replica of such a flower, how much difficult it is. We have to get the same symmetry, we have to get the same shade of color. So to make an imitation of flower, so much of energy is required. And it may not even be perfect. But the material nature is producing so many flowers effortlessly. Who is controlling this activity? Lord Krishna is saying, I am controlling Maya Dakshina Prakriti. Under my direction, that is happening. So nothing is happening by themselves immediately. So that's what actually it says. There is a controller behind each and every activity. We are very proud of a spaceship created by a human being. But how much energy, how much time, how much expertise, how much scientists, engineers, they take so much to make one spaceship. And even sometimes this launch, it is getting failed. But we see in that there are millions of planets in the universe who are effortlessly floating in the space. They are moving perfectly in the orbit. The moment the planets are perfect, and we can also predict where these planets will be in the sky. So everything is happening how it is happening. Bhagavad Gita 15.13 says, Gama Vishyacha Bhutani Dharayami Aham Ojasa. I enter into each planet, and my energy, they stay in the orbit. Prabhupada, in this purport of this verse, he says, if somebody is holding a handful of dust, there is no possibility of the dust falling. But if someone throws it in the air, it will fall down. Similarly, these planets which are floating in the air are actually held by the fist of the universal form of the Supreme Lord. So by his strength and energy, all moving and non-moving things stay in their space. There's a nice story, everybody will all be knowing, that Isaac Newton, he was a believer of a God, but he had a friend who was an atheist. He invited him to his house, and he had prepared a very nice solar system which was moving correctly on its orbit and everything. His friend was very inquisitive and knowing whose workmanship is this. Can you let me know who has created, who has done this? Then Newton, he said, it came on its own. I didn't do anything. I just put some plaster of Paris in my bedroom in the night. In the daytime, in the morning when I came, this model was created. But he was not convinced, and he said, if you don't want to share the knowledge, don't tell me, but it cannot be done it cannot come on its own. Then he gave a nice answer saying that you are able to say that this which model it is created, you want to know who has created, but the entire universe, this marvelous universe which was created, you don't want to believe that there is somebody who is behind it, that is who is a God who has created. So that's how he was able to make him know that there is something behind the material nature also. So the material nature which is one of our energy, is working under my direction. That's what Prabhupada is given in the translation, producing all moving and non-moving things. So whatever is happening is under my power. It is happening because I am perfectly in control. It cannot happen otherwise. There has to be a supreme controller behind everything. Because we cannot see, we should not say there is no controller. So our brains, they cannot accommodate the inconceivable vastness. How many universes are produced, managed, annihilated. So, but nothing is happening by chance. Prabhupada always quotes the Dr. Frog's philosophy. There was a frog which was living in a well, and he had a friend who came from the Atlantic Ocean, and he said, you are coming from Atlantic Ocean, how big it is? He said, this. That other frog said, it's very big, it's very vast. How vast is it? 5 times bigger, 10 times bigger. But he said, no, no, it is very vast. The other frog said, but okay, is it 20 times? So the frog was always actually speculating on it. That's what actually Prabhupada says. Kupa Manduka Nyaya. Kupa Manduka Nyaya. Kupa means well, Manduka means frog. Nyaya, philosophy. Dr. Rock's philosophy is field of knowledge he was not able to comprehend the vastness of the Atlantic Ocean because he had only a limited exposure and estimation. He could not see how vast is the ocean. Bhagavad Gita 7.6 also proves this. Mattaha parataram nanyat kinchidasti dhananjaya mai sarvam idam protam sutre mani ganaya. Everything is resting on me as the pearls are string on a thread. The whole creation is resting upon me. He is the basis and therefore he is the supreme absolute truth. So that's what Mattaha Parataram Nanyat. I am the supreme absolute truth and everything is resting upon me. So it is not that the God creates and sits back. There are people who come and they say that Lord is not able to control his creation and that's why it went off out of hand. One must understand that everything is resting on God and God is the supreme controller. We have seen that every atom, everything, there is nothing that God ceases to be not in control. We have limited control. We have, say, maybe we are in a position like a manager or something, and we are always anxious how to maintain or how to control the seat, how to maintain the seat itself. But Krishna has not to struggle. He is always a supreme controller. There is no competition. We are actually having a limited control, but we want to imitate controlling position of Krishna. But we have to, for that, we have to undergo the position of birth, old age, and disease. So in this shloka, he is emphasizing that everything is going on. Everything is going on. It's Krishna when Krishna is the perfect controller. The material nature also is saying that is producing the chara, achara, moving and non-moving beings. We know that 84 lakh species are created, out of which 20 lakhs only are non-moving living entities, and rest 64 lakhs are created by Krishna. So the material nature is able to do this because Krishna is behind it. It is just like the material nature is just like a shadow of the Lord. Krishna is like our hands. If you show our hands against the light, it will show the shadow. And the shadow will exactly the same way the hand is moving. So one who sees the hand and the shadow, they think that the shadow is moving independently. But actually, the shadow is moving according to the movement of the hand. Hetu nanena kaunteya. So everything is going because Krishna is behind. There was one scientist who was a Nobel Prize winner in chemistry, who was giving a lecture stating that there is no need to believe God because life is coming from chemicals. By chemical combination, life is coming. So he listed out various chemicals from which it will come. And luckily, there was a Prabhupada disciple also who was attending the meeting. And he was also a PhD in chemistry. So he stood up and said that, okay, I will provide you all the list of chemicals in the same proportion you described in your lecture. Can you produce a life? The scientist responded, no, I cannot see. So those who are atheists, they have imperfect vision. Their knowledge is also incomplete, but they pose themselves very learned and which are beyond their jurisdictions because their scope of understanding is very limited. They want to understand with their petty senses that they can, everything is coming on its own or everything they can create. So Lord, another name is Adokshaja, means limits of sense perceptions or sense experiences. The Lord is transcendental to our sense experience. The scientists, they cannot, they make a very positive assertion that there is no God. Everything is coming from chemicals. But such people in the society, they are recognized as a very high graded people, and they are awarded a high position, and they even receive Nobel prizes. The scientists, they know they cannot even produce an ant or a mosquito by a chemical combination. Yet they claim life is coming from chemicals. So similarly, our body, we are producing, when we sweat, there's a perspiration which is coming, which is nothing but salt water and some waste products from our body. But our producing capacity is limited. But Lord Krishna, he is producing the sea water, which is nothing but a perspiration of the Lord, which is also salty. We produce a tiny quantity, whereas Krishna is a perfect and completely produced unlimited quantity. Where these chemicals are coming from? Source is also Krishna. Krishna says, Aham sarvasya prabho matta sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante maam buddha bhava samanditaha. I am the source of all spiritual and material world. Everything emanates from me. He is the original source of atoms, electrons, molecules, which has gone to make these chemicals also. So we are just mixing these two, and we claim that we have created. Even the chemicals, they are given by the Lord. So every moment of time, God is in perfect control for both moving and the non-moving. Lord Krishna says that we think that we are controller of some degree, we get some power, but Krishna has the full power. He is the full controller. That's what he says in Brahma Samhita. Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Nadiradir Govinda Sarvakarana Karana. Lord Krishna is the Param Ishvara. We are getting different power according to our karma. Because an ant, sometimes we get a body of an ant, sometimes we get a body of a demigod, or sometimes we get a prime minister also we can become. But according to our action in the past, we are awarded with a gift and we get some control to some extent. But ultimately, who is giving this power? It is a supreme Lord. Like in an office, we are empowered to sign, or say we are empowered to sign the payments or something like that. But who is giving the power? The board members, they are giving the power. That to a limited extent based upon the position in the company. But the controller is not independent. It is given to them by the board member, and anytime it can be withdrawn. Similarly, our control, what we have, it is based upon our whatever we have done in the past accordingly. But here is Lord is saying it is given by the Supreme Lord. It is to be, and it can be taken away at any point of time. That's what Brahma Samhita also says. Last Saturday, Prabhuji also quoted, Yastindra Gopam Atavendra Athosva Karma Andanurupa Palabhajana Matanoti Karmani Nirdhati Kintu Sabhakti Bhaja Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Right from an insect, small insect, Indra Gopa, to Lord Indra, all bound by the Karma Bandhana. According to a particular activity, they are getting the reactions. All are bound by the cycle of birth and death. And these are controlled by the Supreme Superintendent, Krishna. Those who worship the Supreme Lord, Krishna gets free from the Karma Bandhana. There's a small story where Brahma once went to Dwarka and he informed the doorman that tell that Brahma has come. And Krishna, the doorman went and asked Krishna, and he asked, and Krishna told him that which Brahma has come. So then he said, the four-headed Brahma has come. And it said, and when he met Krishna, Brahma met Krishna, he inquired, why did you ask which Brahma has come? And Krishna understood what is in his mind. Then that's when he called all the Brahmas from so many universes. There are innumerable Brahmas which are actually offering respects to Krishna, like 10-headed, 20-headed, 100-headed, million-headed. So after seeing this, the four-headed Brahma became nervous and began to think that I am just a mosquito in the midst of the many elephants. So Lord, then he surrendered to Krishna, saying that your powers are inconceivable. I cannot understand your opulences. So I just surrender unto you. Now Maharaj gave a very nice acronym. We have the nice CNN channel where it says, C means no capacity. We are nothing. We are not needed anywhere. When we forget this truth, we go far away from the Supreme Lord and fail to approach Him with sincere feeling. So there's one more in the Mahabharata, when Arjuna son was killed by and Jayadratha was the cause for it. He took a vow that he will kill Jayadratha before the sunset. Or if he is not unable to kill him, he will commit suicide. So Kauravas also, they pushed with full force to protect Jayadratha. But somehow Arjuna was able to penetrate, and he was just about to, at that time the sunset came. And was not able to find actually, as it, but it was the sunset came, and these Kauravas and Jayadratha were so happy. But this temporary darkness was created only by Krishna. And Krishna told Arjuna to shoot his arrow, and at the time he asked him to shoot it in such a manner that the head will fall on the lap of his father, who was meditating on for the safety of his son. So, but Krishna's plan, nobody can deny. That's why in Srimad Bhagavatam, there's a very nice in the conclusion in 1840, where the natural law is that human being may take advantage of the godly gifts by nature and satisfactorily flourish on them without being captivated by the exploitive motive of lording it over the material nature. The more we attempt to exploit the material nature according to our whims of enjoyment, the more we shall become entrapped by the reactions of such exploitive atoms. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Prabhujis and Matajis. Vancha kalpatrubhya kripa sindhubhya cha matitanam bhavnebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat pranam.